Bugungi darsimizni siz bilan Cambridge 8, Test 4, Passage 1 analizini ko'rib chiqamiz. Birinchi navbatda titlni o'qib olishimiz va tushunishimiz kerak. Land of the Rising Sun, whatever it is, I don't know what is it about. Keyin savol turlariga qaraymiz. Matching headings, birinchisi berilgan, section A o'zi berilgan, bizda A ni chiqarib tashlaymiz kerak emas bizga. Umuman keraksiz narsa, to'g'ri ham chiqarib tashlaymiz. Umuman keraksiz narsa. Boshqa savol turlariga ham qarab olamiz. Bizdan nima kutilayotganligini tushunish maqsadida yasanayotgan savollarimiz bor. Undan keyin esa multiple choice savollarimiz bor. Xo'p, bu qiyin bo'ladi, chunki bu savollar qiyin. Mana max test book qayerdan topasiz? New math topic qayerdan topasiz? Who experienced difficulties qayerdan topasiz? Qiyin bo'ladi qisqasi. Xo'p, keling endi shuni bajarishga harakat qilamiz. Bir narsaga e'tibor qaratishingiz kerakki, multiple choice savol, matching information savollarini bajarayotgan o'quvchilar matchingni bajaraman birdaniga, keyin boshqa savollarga o'taman. Yo'q, u yaxshi emas, chunki energiyangiz, vaqtingiz ko'p ketib qoladi. Unaqa qiladigan bo'lsangiz, nima qilish kerak? Birinchi navbatda, xo'p, tekstni o'qib olish kerak-da. Paragraf A ni o'qidingizmi? Javobni topdingizmi? Paragraf B ni o'qidingizmi? Javobni topdingizmi? Multiple choice yozilgan savollarga ham boshqa matchingdan boshqa bo'lgan savollarga ham qarab ketish orqali vaqtingizni tejab olishingiz ehtimoli yaxshi-da. O'sha yaxshiroq strategiya bo'ladi. Shuning uchun ham shu ish qilish kerak. Keling endi birgalikda bu savollarga javoblarni topishga harakat qilamiz. Lower secondary school in Japan covers 3 school years from 7th grade to 9th grade. Virtually all people at this stage attend state schools. Only 3% are in private school. Classrooms are large and people sit at single desk in rows. Lessons last from a standardized 50 minutes and are always followed by a 10-minute break, which gives the pupils a chance to let off steam. Teachers begin with a formal address, mutual bowing, then concentrate on whole class teaching. Classes are large, usually 40. Wow! Unstreamed. People stay in the class for all lessons throughout the school and develop considerable class identity and loyalty. Pupils attend their school in their own neighborhood, which in theory most ranking by school. In practice in Tokyo, because of the relative concentration of schools, there is some competition to get into the better school in particular area. Xo'p, tushunarli. Topishga harakat qilamiz balxataligini. O'z ko'rganingiz bu school haqida, Japanese school system haqida, influence of bu haqida yo'q. No, yo'q. Comparative expenditure, nope. Background of, background to middle years education in Japan bo'ladi bu. 7 bo'ladi. Chunki o'sha background berilgan, qanaqa o'qishi, nima vaziyatda bo'lishi, shunaqa vaziyatda gaplar berilgan. Shuning uchun buni chiqarib tashlaymiz. Next. Multiple choice yes or no degan savollarni ham ko'raylikchi, javob olar ekan. There's a wide range of achievement amongst English people studying math than against their Japanese counterparts. What is it? Bu qism mana shunda bo'lsa kerak. Japan is a bigger course in terms of average mathematical than English whales. Largest sample international comparison of pupils at MSS 60s have established not only Japanese did pupils at age better score of average than also a large proportion of lower attainers, where incidental variation attendance scores were much greater. Hope o'z ko'rgansiz, there's a wider range of achievement among English people studying math and among their Japanese counterparts. To'g'ri, variation, range, and attainment score was much greater. Demak, variation mana qilib bo'lgan. Masalan, kimdir 90% bo'lsa, kimdir 10% olgan, masalan, lekin Japanese'da masalan 80 ga olmish turgan, masalan 90 ga olmish turgan, 90 ga 70 turgan. Wider range bo'lgan Englishlarda. Shuning uchun ham o'qishni yes deb olamiz. O'sha gapni belgiladim, variationni ham belgiladim. Mana shu qismda javobni topib olishingiz mumkin. Agar xohlasangiz o'zingiz topib oling. Men buni tarjima qilib o'tirmayman. Percentage of gross national product spent on education generally reflects the level of attainment in mathematics. Percentage of gross spent similar to countries. So how is this higher? Yo'q. Bu no bo'ladi menimcha. It doesn't reflect. No bo'lar ekan, chunki masalan percentage of gross national product spent on education is same degan bir xil, lekin nimaga japaneslar bunchalik kuchayib ketdi? Shuning uchun ham buni no deb olishimiz mumkin yoki not deb olishimiz mumkin. Ko'ramiz, sharoitga qaraymiz. Lekin birinchi javobim no. Private schools in Japan are more modern and spacious than state-run low secondary schools. Haqida ma'lumot umuman yo'q, shu uchun olgan olamiz. 3%ni o'sha private run schoolga echgan, lekin unaqa more spacious, more modernligi haqida yozilmagan. Teachers mark homework in Japanese schools. Teachers mark homework. We'll see. Ko'ramiz, hali javob chiqmadi bu haqida. My textbooks haqida ma'lumot o'qimadik hozircha. Traditional ways of teaching from the basis of the lesson and remarkably quiet classes. Take their own notes of points made and examples demonstrated. Everyone has their own copy of the textbook supplied by the Central Educational Authority, Monbushu, as part of the concept of free compulsory education up to age 15. The textbooks are on the whole small, presumably inexpensive to produce, but well set out and logically developed. One teacher was particularly keen to introduce color and pictures into math textbooks. He felt this would make them more accessible to people brought up in cartoon culture. Besides approving textbooks, they also decides highly centralized national curriculum, how to be delivered. Wow. Like dictatorship. It looks like a dictatorship. Why are you living in dictatorship, guys? Teachers, my textbooks in Japanese schools are cheap to buy. No, it's free. What are you talking about? Well organized, adapted to the needs of pupils. Yeah. Again. Well set out and logically developed. Written conjunction with TV programs? No. Not very popular? No. Bo'ldi. What new math topic is introduced? Yo'q, men new math topic hali ko'rganimiz yo'q, shuning uchun 10 ni qoldirib ketamiz. Boramiz, orqaga qaytib, C ni qanaqa ma'lumotligini topamiz. Influence of Monbushu haqida ma'lumot bor, chunki Monbushuni har bitta narsani belgilab berishi, bitta narsani diktator bo'lib turishi haqida ma'lumot bor. O'sha uchun Monbushuni belgilasak bo'ladi. Oi, don't do it, man. Change the color. King's Gotams. D. Lessons all follow the same pattern. At the beginning, people put solutions to the homework on the board. Then teachers comment, correct, and elaborate as necessary. Pupils mark their own. Oh, here, people mark their own homework. This is an important principle in Japanese schooling. It enables people to see where and why they made a mistake. So this can be avoided in the future. No one minds mistakes. Ignorance, as long as you prepare to learn from them. Wow, that's great, man. After the homework has been discussed, the teacher explains the topic of the lesson slowly with a lot of repetition and elaboration. Examples are demonstrated on the board. Questions from the textbook are worked through first with the class, and class is set questions from the textbook to do individually. Only rarely are supplementary worksheets distributed in math classes. This information is that logical nature of textbooks and their comprehensive coverage of different types of examples, combined with the relative homogeneity of the class, renders worksheets unnecessary. At this point, the teacher would circulate and make sure that all pupils were coping well. Great. Cool. Yeah, typical format of the math lesson. Typical format math lessons. Maybe olamiz. Bu qismdan javoblarni ham ko'rib chiqamiz. Xo'p. Teachers mark homework. No, they don't mark homework. Students mark homework. O'z ko'rganingizda bitta yes, ikkita no, bitta not kelgan bo'ldi, normally. Bo'ldi. Bu qism tugadi. Biz hozir tugatdik bu qismni. Keyin qismga o'tamiz. When a new topic is introduced, students answer the questions on the board. Nope. Students rely entirely on text. Nope. It's carefully and patiently explained to students. Correct. Usual for students to use extra worksheets. No, there's no extra worksheets, guys. What are you talking about? Lessons. The teacher explains the topic of the lesson slowly with a lot of repetition. Secondly, qaytadan elaboration, repetition tushuntirib bergan, shuning uchun ham sen oldik. How do students who experience difficulties? Experience difficulty ni o'qimadik. Xo'p, keyingi qismga o'tamiz. It's remarkable that large mixed ability classes could be kept together for math throughout all their compulsory schooling from 6 to 15. Teachers say that they give individual help at the end of the lesson after school, setting extra work if necessary. Wow. If observed lessons are any strugglers who would be assisted by a teacher or quietly seek help from their neighbor. Carefully fostered class identity makes people keen to help each other. Anyway, it's in their interest in the class progress together. It scarcely seems adequate help to enable slow learners to keep up. However, Japanese attitude towards education runs along the lines of if you work hard enough, you can do almost everything. Parents are kept closely informed of their children's progress, will play a part in helping their children to keep up with the class, sending them to Joku if extra help is needed, to encourage them to work harder. It seems to work at least 95% of the school population. Wow, okay, it's great. Role of homework organization, no. Xo'p, helping less successful students haqida ma'lumot berilgan. Xo'p, nima qiladi bu bechoralar bilan haqida ma'lumotlar berilgan. Jokuga borar ekan yoki extra workni qo'yib berar ekan darsdan keyin. Shu bilan ikkini olamiz. Interesting, seriously. Keyingiga o'tamiz. Xo'p, yeah. Who experience difficulty, they are given appropriate supplementary tuition? Nope. Encouraged to copy from other people's? Nope. Forced to explain their slow progress? Nope. They're placed in a mixed ability class? Nope. Demak bo'lar ekan, chunki appropriate supplementary tuition haqida ma'lumot bor. Xo'p, qisqasi mana any struggles by teachers, xo'p. Individual help, supplementary tuition at the end of the lesson or after school. Bor, appropriate bo'lar ekan. Why do students tend to achieve relatively high rates of success in maths? Buni ham ko'ramiz F'da. Xo'p, birdaniga ko'rib ketaylik, nima qilamiz, bosh og'ritib, to'g'rimi? So what are major contributing factors in success of maths? Clearly, attitudes are important. Education is valued greatly. Maths is recognized as an important compulsory subject throughout schooling, and emphasis is hard won, coupled with focus on accuracy. Other relevant points relate to supportive attitudes of a class towards slower pupils. Lack of competition, the positive emphasis on learning for oneself, improving one's own standards, and view of repetitively boring lessons, and learning the facts by heart, which is sometimes quoted in relation to Japanese classes, may be unfair and unjustified. No poor math lessons were observed. They were mainly good, and one or two were inspirational. Wow. Compulsory uchunligi emas. They're used to working without help. Correct. Much effort is made. Correct answers are emphasized. No. There's strong emphasis on repetitive learning. Hope. Compulsory subject uchun emasda. Without help from others emasda. Hamma mana supportive attitude bor. Correct answers are emphasized haqida ma'lumot yo'q. Masalan, correct answer yo'qligi sababli buni olib tashlaymiz. Without help olib tashlaymiz. Repetitive learningga yo'q. Repetitive deb aytishadi, lekin unaqa emas. Mayli, compulsory subject olamiz. Balki xatodir, balki to'g'ridir, bilmayman. Ko'ramiz. Xo'p, F qoldi oxirgisi. Xo'p, nima haqida edi bu? Successful compulsory education, maybe we will know. Comparative expenditure, nope. The key to Japanese success in mass education, yes. 8 olamiz. Chunki keylar haqida berilganda unaqa qilib tashab. Bo'ldi. Shu bilan bugungi darsimiz o'z nihoyasiga yetadi. Kommentariyada qoldirishinglar mumkin. Agar muammolar bo'lsa, shu bilan keyingi darsda ko'rishguncha xayr, bye.